Hey guys, so this video is going to be a little bit different. We are doing a Q&A video. So a good few months ago actually, I basically asked all my patrons and Instagram followers for questions for a Q&A video, and yeah, we're finally getting around to it. So we're going to get stuck straight in. So the first question is there an item you love but didn't sell as well as you thought it might? Yes, there absolutely is. And that is my Kindle cases, which makes me so sad. And I say this every time I talk about them because I love my Kindle cases. In fact, I'm going to get mine now so I can show you. So this is one of the Kindle cases that I designed and I just love it. I also designed a matching Kindle insert. It's got the hand strap and yeah, it just makes the Kindle look so cute. But unfortunately, they just didn't sell very well. I don't know why, because I love the design. I'm really proud of it. And yeah, it's just such a shame. I really don't understand why they didn't sell well. All I can think of is that people already have cases that they love and maybe I was a little bit late to the game. I don't know. So yeah, if you love your Kindle or you know anyone that really loves their Kindle, please buy a Kindle case because I think they're lovely and I've literally had mine for a year now, I think. I use it every single day and it's still good as new. So yeah, they definitely last. So let's move on to the second question. And that is, what are you most proud of in your business? Honestly, I feel like mine's quite a general one, but it's just the fact that I'm still going. I'm still doing this. I've not given up. Obviously, for a lot of small businesses at the moment, things are really hard and there's so many businesses closing. I feel like every single day online I see an announcement that another small business is closing and it's really sad. And yeah, one, I'm proud of myself that I'm still trying and I'm still showing up despite it being so difficult. But I'm also extra proud because I've been through a lot. For anyone who's followed me for a while, you'll know obviously my health issues. So I had my youngest in October 2024 and by January 2025 I ended up being rushed to hospital. No one really knew what was going on and yeah, it turned out I had gallstones, but it had progressed into pancreatitis, jaundice, sepsis. Like I was really unwell. I then ended up waiting 8 weeks, still having gallbladder attacks every single day while looking after a newborn baby, which was really difficult. I think the first time I ended up in hospital, I was in there for a week and Oliver was only 11 weeks old and that just destroyed me for a long time. I felt so much guilt that I'd missed out because by the time I went home, he'd changed so much and it was just the guilt of I've missed out. I know it was only a week, but he was only 11 weeks old. So that was a big part of his life at the time. 8 weeks later, I had gallbladder removal surgery and then a week later I ended up being rushed back into hospital with another gallstone attack, and then I ended up staying in hospital again for another week because I had developed pancreatitis again. For anyone who's not had pancreatitis before, and this is coming from someone who just recently given birth not long before that, pancreatitis pain is the worst pain I've ever had in my entire life. I would not wish that on anyone. It was a really tough time for me. I decided to close my shop during maternity leave anyway, but it then got extended because of all the health issues, and because I'd had to wait 8 weeks for the gallbladder surgery, it led to me having chronic pain. It's hard. I am in pain every single day. I also have to contend with POTS and all the issues that come with POTS, but I feel like I'm so proud of it and the fact that we don't have any childcare. Oliver's nearly 18 months now and we've never had childcare. So the fact that I have achieved so much, I think I've done 3 or 4 new collections, I've opened a website, I've opened a TikTok shop, a second Etsy for digital downloads, I've reopened my Patreon, I've also came back to YouTube and I'm trying my best to kind of be consistent with that. So I think all of those things, the fact that I can even do any of them, I think is just incredible, and I don't normally give myself credit for things that I do. I'm normally really, really hard on myself, and yeah, I think I should just be proud of that, and I am proud of that. I think it's been difficult. It's been the hardest year of my life, but yeah, the fact that I'm still doing this, I'm still trying, makes me super duper proud. Okay, so the next question is, what is your favorite item to make? And this might surprise Dylan, my partner, because I don't think he'd guess this was my favorite item, because I'm always like, oh no, I need to make some more. But I think it would actually be my magnetic bookmarks. Don't get me wrong, it's difficult to design them. I always get really confused on like the dimensions and what I'd done last time, and it gets a bit confusing. However, I do love making them and seeing them go from the design to the actual physical product, because I feel like it's one of those items that completely transforms while you're making it. And things like prints and stickers, like, yes, it's amazing seeing the finished design on that piece of paper or on that sticker, but in terms of a magnetic bookmark, it's gone from just that flat piece of paper to an actual bookmark. It sounds so stupid, but yeah, I think that one is just really satisfying once it's done. Okay, so the next question is, how did Peachy Lane start? Basically, I never started off as Peachy Lane Studio. I started off writing a blog. It was a mental health blog during the pandemic because I was struggling. I was one of the people who was shielding, and even though I love being at home, when you're forced to stay at home for so long, I found it quite stressful and a little bit traumatizing. So basically, I've always loved writing. I was very much a writer in school, and yeah, I just thought, you know what, I'll do a blog, and just if anyone reads it, then hopefully it helps them. It was just ways to kind of deal with staying at home, ways to improve mental health. And then what happened was I was basically using Canva to design graphics for the website and things like that. And there was quite a few where I looked at it and thought, oh, that'd be really nice on the wall and stuff. So then I was like, maybe I could actually turn these into wall prints. And that's when my first Etsy shop was born. I started off selling prints and it was all mental health related. And then eventually I moved into selling stickers. Again, it was all mental health related. And then slowly I just started adding like the artistic side of it. And then obviously here we are now, where I'm primarily art based and it's primarily a creative business. I still have my mental health products on the shop, or at least most of them, because they do still sell on Etsy. But yeah, like my main focus now is on the artwork and stuff like that. I'm just really happy with how it's going at the minute. It's amazing to look back and see. I'll try and either add some clips or show some photos in the corner or something of like the old products and stuff. But yeah, it's been a big journey and a big transformation as well. So yeah, it's nice to think back and just think how much I've grown and how much Peachy Lane has evolved, how much I've grown as well. So yeah, so that leads me to my next question, which is, where did the name Peachy Lane come from? So Peachy Lane was actually my third business name. I started off, so I mentioned the blog, that was called Shivarella because my name's Shivvy, and Shivarella was one of my nicknames in an old workplace. I started off as Shivarella, and then once I started getting regular sales on Etsy, I decided to change it and call it Pretty and Paper. However, I never really liked the name. I just wanted something that would explain what I was doing, and at the time it was paper goods primarily, so it was prints and stickers, and I think I was doing notepads at the time as well. But again, it wasn't really the name I wanted, and I also didn't like the word pretty because I don't know, I feel like for something that's meant to make you feel happy, and especially when it was mental health related at the time and I was sort of just starting to test out the waters with the artwork, I didn't feel like pretty was the right word, because a lot of people don't feel pretty, myself included, and that gets me down. So like, I didn't think it was the right word for a business that was supposed to bring happiness. Then I got to thinking, I put votes on my Instagram account and I basically had a list of names that I liked. So there was a couple, I'd already checked them on Companies House and I checked websites and domains and things, and Peachy Lane won, and Peachy Lane was my favourite name, and I'm glad that that was voted for. So I wanted something that was gonna kind of reflect happiness, and that is the word peachy. So obviously there's the whole saying feeling peachy, and then I wanted something to say it was kind of like a journey. That's where lane came in, because obviously you walk down a lane, it's a journey. So it sounds so cringy when I like explain it. I can't, after like 4 or 5 years, I can't think of a better way to explain it, but I know what I mean. I hope you guys know what I mean. Basically a journey of happiness, and then studio was added because I wanted something that was going to sound a bit businessy anyway. So studio was the first choice for me. I liked businesses that had the name studio in them. I feel like it sounded good, and yeah, Peachy Lane Studio was born. And thankfully I've not changed my name again, because that was hard work trying to change all the logos, the branding, the Etsy name, the Instagram handles. It was a lot. So yeah, hopefully no more changes. Okay, so the next question is, how would you describe your art style and has it changed over time? So I describe my art style as cute, kawaii, but also with little hints of kind of storybook, cottagecore themes. So yeah, I'd say primarily it's more kawaii, but more recently, especially like the Cozy Chapters collection, I'd say that was more storybook, cottagecore theme. And I loved them both. I'd love to find a way to merge them both together kind of in a natural way, but I do struggle with it, so I'm still trying with that one. You'll normally find like I'll do a collection that's a bit more kawaii, and then the next one will be a bit more cottagecore. So yeah, it's all about just learning, and I find it's just a way of expressing myself. And for now, while I'm not entirely sure how I want everything to look and how I want to merge the two styles together, I think I just kind of go with what I want to do at the time and whatever kind of matches the collection theme that I'm going for. So for example, I'm about to do a new collection, which is basically a duck collection because I love ducks so much. And yeah, I think for that one, the kawaii side of it matches better. So my art style for that one is more kawaii, but you'll probably find the next one I do might be more storybook or cottagecore. So yeah, it just changes. I do think my style has changed over time. I was always trying to go for cute and kawaii sort of looks, but I think I have naturally improved. That's good. But I also have added more details, and I think everything's just got a little bit better over the years, which is good because I am self-taught and I was actually never very artistic in school. All my teachers used to say to me that I was more academic than creative, which I disagree with now, because even if I wasn't drawing things for my business, I am still creating. And I think being creative is such a big, vague term that I think everyone is creative and has creativity in them. And just because you might not be painting masterpieces doesn't necessarily mean that you're not creative or artistic. So yeah, the next question is, do you enjoy doing in-person events like markets, etc.? Yes, I do enjoy them, but I've not done it since before I went on maternity leave. Again, it's childcare and health reasons. I would love to go back to doing them. They made me so anxious, but I loved them when I was there, and I was so proud of myself for doing it because, as I say, I'm very shy, I'm very anxious. So it was such a huge achievement for me to actually go and do an in-person market. And I did it a few times and then found out I was pregnant and the morning sickness was just too bad, so I had to stop. But yeah, I'd love to do it again. I keep talking to my partner about seeing if there's a way that we can do it. It's just difficult at the moment. But yeah, I would absolutely love to return to them. I've still got all my market stuff. Like, I bought so much stuff. I'm so proud of my stall. I'll try and put a picture up. I had so much fun. And I think now that I've got so many different products as well, it'd be really, really fun to do another one. So we'll see. I will obviously take you all with me if I do decide to return to them. But yeah, I really, really do love them and I can't wait to go back to them. The next one is, what's your favourite sweet treat? So I think my favourite sweet treat is Lidl brownies. So they're in the bakery in Lidl, and these chocolate brownies are just so nice. They're all soft and gooey. They don't last very long here, but yeah, they're really nice. And I think my other one is my childhood favourite, which is Galaxy Ripples. They're just so nice, and I'm so glad that they've not stopped doing them. There's so many really nice chocolate bars have been discontinued, so hopefully Ripples are not going anywhere. Although technically I'm more of a crisp person. I love crisps. My crisp of choice would be cheese and onion Walkers. And then in terms of actual sweets, if you're talking about actual sweets, I'm not much of a sweet person, but I do like rhubarb and custard. Not like the hard boiled sweets, but the soft long ones with the 2 different colours. I absolutely love them. I get them on Amazon sometimes because it's really hard to find them in shops. You don't see them very often. So yeah, that is where I get them from, and I get like a big tub of them. I've got some downstairs that I think I'm like halfway through, but yeah, they're really nice. So the next question is, what do you use to design your products? For the drawing, I use Procreate, which is on my iPad, and I've got an iPad mini, and I do have my old iPad, which I think is a 2019 model, which is bigger, but I actually do prefer the mini, even though there's less in terms of screen size. I just find it a bit more portable to carry around with me. I've got the Apple Pencil Pro for the iPad mini, and the normal Apple Pencil, I think, for the other iPad. But as I say, I tend to just use the iPad mini at the moment. And then what I'll tend to do, I'll draw the main illustration and I'll then move everything onto Canva. I know a lot of people use Photoshop and things like that, but honestly I can't afford the prices of Photoshop, so I do pay for Canva Pro. But I think it's worth it for the extra things you get. I think it's like background remover, you can have your own fonts and the premium fonts. I think it's worth it, in my opinion, for what I use it for. And yeah, what I tend to do is I will add text in Canva or backgrounds and things like that. And yeah, that's just how I tend to do it. I find it a bit easier once it's on the computer to actually move things around and add text and things like that. So the next question is, what does a typical day look like for you? So for me, it can change, but let's just say it's a normal day where my partner's in work and it's just me and Oliver because Amelia's in school. So what'll happen is, obviously, we'll do the school run, we'll drop Amelia off, and I'll basically be with him until he naps, which is, let's say, 12 o'clock. And he'll nap up until 2 o'clock. So between 12 and 2, that's when I tend to get my work time when Dylan's in work. And I'll normally do things like social media content, editing stuff, Patreon posts. Sometimes I'll do some drawing as well. It depends if I've got any drawing to do on that day. And then when Oliver goes to bed, which is between 7, half 7, I'll tend to have a little rest and then basically work until about 9, half 9, and that is normally my vlog editing time. So that tends to be the evening job. There's no point me really doing it during his naps when I'm on my own, because if he wakes up, it's a lot harder for me to move everything because I edit on my MacBook and I also have an external hard drive plugged into it. So it's quite difficult to move that off because I'm not on a desk downstairs. It's just like on my knee on the couch. So yeah, it's a bit more difficult to stop and start that one. So yeah, I tend to do YouTube vlogs of an evening, and yeah, that tends to be my little routine. I did used to work all night. I would literally be working till like midnight, 1 o'clock, and I very quickly burnt out, so I didn't think it was worth carrying on with that anymore. So yeah, my cut-off time is normally 9 o'clock or half 9 at the latest, and it just means then I can have a cup of tea and just enjoy the rest of the night. And then obviously when Dylan's at home, it's a little bit different. I still work on all these nap times. I still do my vlog editing of an evening. Don't get me wrong, I do have some nights off. But in terms of daytime, it depends. If we've got shopping to do or appointments or we've got plans, then I won't work any extra. But if we don't have any plans and I've got packing to do or other stuff to do, then I will tend to work in the morning for a couple of hours just until Oliver needs his nap, and that's my little chunk of time. It depends on the day really, but yeah, that's my routine. So the next question is, any exciting projects in the making? So yes, I think I kind of covered this anyway. I I'm doing a new collection that's all about ducks, and it's so cute. I will share a little sneak peek while I'm talking. Hopefully you all think it's dead cute. I think it's so cute. I'm really excited for this collection, and I'm just hoping that it goes well, because past collections haven't gone as well recently, and it is worrying and it is a bit of a risk. But yeah, I'm really hoping that my excitement pays off and that everyone else likes it too. Ducks are my absolute favourite animals. I think they're just so cute and I love drawing them. My favourite Pokemon is Psyduck. My favourite Animal Crossing character is Pate. I call her Pate because I feel bad calling her Pate. But yeah, Pate. I love them both, and yeah, ducks are my favourite and they're super cute and everyone should love them too. So yeah, that collection should be coming out at the end of June, but I'll let you guys know if that changes. And yeah, I'm just really excited for it. So we've only got a couple more questions left. So this one is, what do you like to do that's not business related when you have some free time? So my favourite thing to do, honestly, at the minute is reading. I have always loved reading, but I think ever since I got my Kindle, it's just changed the game for me, because it means I don't have to store physical books everywhere. Don't get me wrong, I do have some physical books and I'll still collect if there's like a special edition that's really cool, or if there's like a signed one by one of my favourite authors, I will buy physical copies. However, having a Kindle just makes it so much easier to just get a book and read it and then not have to worry about it taking up loads of space. So yeah, at the minute reading is my favourite hobby, but I do also love games. I tend to enjoy cozy games more, but I do play most types of games anyway. My absolute favourite game is Wildflowers. It's the best game I've ever played in my life and I tell everyone. But yeah, if you've never played Wildflowers, please do. Please try it because it's so good. And they're doing a prequel to it as well. So I'm really excited for that one. I don't think you're going to see me for like a good few weeks when that comes out. So yeah, books, cozy games. I also love colouring and obviously watching telly. I'm very much a homebody. I am your typical introvert who just likes to be at home and do cozy things. So yeah, don't get me wrong, I like to go outside and go for walks and stuff, but honestly, because of my health, it's quite hard. So it's just a lot easier for me to be at home and stay cozy and just chill, really. So the next question is, how do you decide on designs to make? Honestly, it's probably based on inspiration around me. So for example, the duck collection is one of those things I've wanted to do for so long. I tend to love the duck characters in any show or game, and it just made sense for me to do a collection based on my favourite animal. And then the Cozy Chapters collection, I basically did that because I got the Kindle and I was reading so much at the time and it became like a really big thing again. And I just enjoyed it so much, so I thought I'd do a collection based around reading. A lot of my other ideas that I've shared to my patrons is normally inspiration from things that I've either watched or things that I just love in general. So yeah, it tends to very much be what I'm enjoying at the minute that will kind of decide what my next collection is going to be. Okay, so we're just going to do one more. So if I've not read your question out, I will try and do another one at some point, another Q&A. So let's go for, what does your dream studio look like? So I always thought my dream studio would actually be an office or even a shop. But honestly, I think I'm happy working at home. I think the benefits of working at home very much outweigh the benefits of having your own office space outside of your house, because obviously you've got to then go to it and you're not in your comfort zone. And yeah, I think I really do like working at home. The only downside is I wish I had a dedicated room to work in. Currently I'm working out of our bedroom, which I know isn't very professional, but there's not a lot I can do. There's not enough room in the living room to have a full setup, and yeah, the bedroom is just the only option really. So yeah, hopefully one day I get my own office room, and yeah, that'll be really nice. That is the dream really, to be able to afford a house big enough where the kids can each have their own rooms and I can have my office space. So yeah, that would be lovely, and it'd stop me having to take up half the bedroom with my work stuff. So yeah. Okay guys, so we're done, and I hope you've all enjoyed the Q&A. I hope it's been interesting, and yeah, if there's anything else you want to ask me, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer every single one. So yeah, I will see you all next time, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more Q&As, more behind the scenes and studio vlogs. It really means the world to me, and yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed it.